What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode we're returning to Char's daily life. Last time, we met Nishi, who is trying to figure out who he is. He met with Sayla, who stole his futon and gave him a cold. She tried fixing the problem by suplexing him, while trying to figure out who Sayla is. He forgot that he doesn't even know who he is. This time, Char lives at Degwin's temple for a little bit. He trains with Garma, and it's Christmas time, so let's get into this. Char withdraws some money from Kodokawa Bank. He goes to run some errands when a robbery happens. Char pretends to be one of the robbers, and they just kinda go with it. But the leader doesn't like being out-fashioned, so they have to switch outfits. Sayla approaches the robber thinking he is Nishi. She is now a prisoner. Another robber yells at Char cosplayer robber, and this angers Sayla. She throws one man, then she throws the real Char right into a truck. She then realizes that the robber isn't Big Bro. Meanwhile, that truck went on a journey. Now Nishi has to find a way to get back home. Degwin makes it to the funeral. Char wants to help out and ends up poking Degwin in the nose with his helmet pointy bits. He is glad he didn't bring Sayla to this funeral. Degwin is the priest of the Zabi temple. Legend says that he retreated into the mountains for years and abandoned anger and hatred. Suddenly, someone starts singing happy birthday at a funeral. It is Sayla. She tries to blow out a ceremonial candle like it's a birthday cake. Nishi tries to stop her only to be blamed for everything. At least Degwin is chill about it. Sayla continues causing chaos. Nishi says to not cause so much trouble. Hage apparently means so much in Japanese, which must be super informal. Hage is also a crude way to call someone bald. Degwin takes this the wrong way, and the man who abandoned rage becomes rageful. He says he isn't bald, he just shaves. Huh. Who would have thought? She says, Hotoke no kao mo sando nazureba hara wo tatsu, or strike even in the face of a Buddha 3 times, and his anger will be roused. This is essentially a lesson about testing one's patience, and even the most enlightened Buddha will get pissed off if you annoy them. Nishi is also a bald monk now. Degwin hears fighting while walking the grounds. It is Garma and Char training Kendo. Char doesn't wear a Kendo mask, just a Char mask. Garma decides to take off his Kendo mask so it is an even fight. Nishi is actually able to get a win. Garma wants to kill himself for losing. It's the honorable thing to do. Later, while scratching his face, Garma accidentally kills a bug. He must atone for taking a life in vain. Time to kill myself again. Nishi tries to stop Garma, and they end up knocking over a Buddha statue. He needs Nishi to buy him time while he fixes it, so he pretends to be a Buddha statue. Garma takes a long time. He doesn't want to end up being a Sokushinbutsu, who are monks who mummify themselves and just die. Finally, Garma returns with the Buddha statue fixed. Garma's sculpting skills needs a little work. Of course, Degwin finds out. This chapter ends with a reference to Ikkyu-san, an anime about the monk Ikkyu. Wait a minute, they made a cute-looking anime about the Buddhist monk who said, "Screw it, my life is about booze and hookers now. I might have to check this out." First thing that Nishi remembers when he awoke was that he was on a train. Someone comes up and calls him Nishi, so he begins going by that name. But one man tells him to choose a better one. He chooses Nishi no Koji Ayamaru. He bumps his head and suddenly gets a vague memory from his past. He meets Degwin on the train, and he asks him of his name. He shows him the ledger stating that his name is Char Aznable, but he can't seem to keep that name in his memory. It is fleeting. Then Garma appears. The window opens up and the wind comes through, making a noise that sounds like Char. Hold on, stupid wind. I can't hear anything. Garma says that Nishi wants to know only so he could run away from it. Then Sayla appears. He then wakes up from that fever dream. They're in a laundromat, and Sayla accidentally bleached all the clothes. Whoops, all whites. Garma brings Nishi his Buddhist robes, but he doesn't need them anymore. Sayla hisses at Garma like a cat. Garma suggests she train at the temple. Garma came in Degwin's super nice sports car. That is when Zaku the cat jumps into the car and sets the car into neutral. It rolls right into a tree. Garma and Nishi blame one another for about an hour. Garma, Sayla, and Nishi all want to go to the beach, but they have to get the car fixed first. Char knows a guy. He drives the car. Garma says, "Hey man, do you even know how to drive?" "No, why do you ask?" "Because the windshield wipers are on." A cop tries to pull them over. Char goes 3 times normal speed and loses the cop, but someone else is on their tail. Garma thinks it is the White Devil, but it is worse. It is Degwin. Char says he is acting violent, or Hageshi. Degwin thinks he said Hage, and says, "Stop calling me bald." Degwin crashes into the bike after mishearing a bunch of things. The two must pay off all the damage. Looks like Nishi and Garma work in an auto shop now. The boys clean up some cars while Sayla gets a tan going. Nishi's toilet is getting old. He hires a plumber to install a new one. He now has the power of a bidet in his butthole. If you dry wipe your butt, you are just a lower life form. It's a proven fact. Sayla is out shopping, so he is going to give this new toilet a test run. He poops, but then he doesn't know which button he is supposed to press. He tries one out. It shoots water right into his butthole. He didn't think water could clean such places before. The toilet looks like a mobile suit cockpit. There is a targeting computer. Time to shoot all the fecal matter away. He shoots and misses. Then Nishi notices a ×3 button. He hesitates, but eventually pushes the button. The water pushes on his asshole like no other. The power of a battleship in a single blast. He has to make this power stop. He reaches for the plug and stands up. Water goes everywhere. Well, it looks like he has to wipe with toilet paper like a heathen, but there is no more toilet paper. He asks Zaku to go get some toilet paper for him, but he ends up just bringing the litter box. Nishi decides to wait for his butt to dry naturally. Nishi is now helping out at a barber shop. He practices shaving on a balloon but pops it. The barber goes out and tells Nishi to handle business. He doesn't think anyone will stop by. However, Dozel comes in looking for a haircut. Nishi tries to cut his hair but ends up cutting one side too short. He gives him an afro, but the patch he made is noticeable. He then washes and dries Dozel's hair, but ends up burning it off. He then finds the boss's secret hair growing formula. He adds it to his hair. It is now way too long. Dozel is furious. The barber makes it back, but Nishi is nowhere to be found. He skipped town for a while. It's Christmas time. Nishi is delivering cakes for some extra cash for gifts. While making one last delivery, Akahana steals the cake. You know, the guy with the nose from the Jaburo episode? Oh snap, I just realized Akahana means red nose. Nishi stops him and demands to know why he stole the cake. He tells him that he wanted to give his little sister something nice on Christmas. Nishi is moved and ready to make a Christmas miracle happen. He buys some gifts for his sister, but he wants to deliver the gifts himself as Santa. Akahana says, "You fool, I don't have a sister," and he runs away. Char chases him and catches him once again. He turns Akahana into Rudolph with his red-ass nose. Nishi ends up getting a Charlie Brown bamboo tree for Sayla. Sayla prays that Nishi will get him pure gold next Christmas. Expectations are getting out of hand. It is now February 14th, Valentine's Day. In Japan, women give men chocolates for Valentine's Day, and 1 month later, on March 14th, men reciprocate with gifts to women. This is known as White Day. On this day, all the bitches give Garma the chocolates. He shares some with Nishi, who wonders why he just doesn't give it to the temple. Garma says, "Bring Western sweets made by a woman into a temple? Are you insane?" Okay, not gonna read too much into that. Nishi says all the nice old ladies also gave him candy and snacks. The two count to see who has the most. It is a tie. But then Sayla comes home and she says she is making chocolates. It looks like Nishi has one more than Garma. He says to blame it on the misfortune of his birth. While walking home, Garma sees a chocolate-making kit. The Buddhist equivalent of an angel and a demon on his shoulders fight one another over whether or not he should buy it. He pulls the trigger. Garma ends up making traditional Japanese sweets. He tries to make chocolate, but in the end, he ends up making something more traditional. It really is the misfortune of his birth. He keeps buying cocoa from the same shopkeep. The shopkeep feels bad for him, so she gives her a Valentine's Day chocolate. He tells Char that they are even. It turns out Sayla can't bake, so Garma ended up winning in the end. Degwin approaches them and yells at Garma for eating Western sweets before Nirvana. He drags them away. Sayla makes a crab cake for Nishi. Not crab cakes. She made what looks like crab legs coming out of a sweet cake. Char ended up being sick after eating it and stayed in the position of the reclining Buddha all day. Zena gives Dozel some chocolates for Valentine's Day. He asks Kenpachi-sensei what to do, which was an old TV show that started in the 70s. He watches an episode of Kenpachi and gets an idea for a grand gesture. Nishi fixes a bike and allows Sayla to use it, but it turns out she doesn't know how to ride. He gives her some lessons. She proceeds to crash and run over Nishi. She then jumps off a ramp and the two do a sick ET reference. Spielberg? In my anime? I never saw it coming. He decides to just put training wheels on her bike. Meanwhile, Dozel is going to get hit by a truck to get Zena's attention. He chickens out and pays a driver to pretend to hit him. Nishi and Sayla decide to have a little race. Meanwhile, the truck is coming down the street. Dozel is ready to jump out. As he runs into the street, he is hit by Sayla on her bike passing by. Zena wasn't even looking anyways. Nishi says that Sayla doesn't need the training wheels anymore. And that will do it for this episode. The one thing that always bothers me about the slice of life genre is how easy it is for people to get jobs. You need a PhD to work at Starbucks in America. Next time Lala tries to sell Nishi a cell phone, he becomes Giga Chad Terminator, and Nishi learns more about the name Char. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember to get a bidet and wash your butt properly. Peace.